Woof, woof, woof. Oh, let's hope this new tyre makes this feel much better, because I don't think it could get any worse. Yes, we are new tyred up and everything. Oh, that's a nice car. How do you pronounce them? Cupra? Supra? They are nice. It says True Stage. But I have a topic today that I'd like to talk about once I'm rolling, and it's why am I into bikes. I don't know, it's an interesting topic because you can be a biker but not really into bikes, whereas you can't really, no one's really got the same answer, have they? You know what I'm saying? So everyone's, why do you ride bikes? Oh, it's because of this, and no one will give you the same answer. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm a fan of I like that as well, because I've been riding bike now for 4 years. I think it's 4 years. Pretty sure I got my driving license in 2019, and we're in 2023 now, so maybe I got my license earlier than that. I don't know. Anyway, I've been riding a bike a long time. 4 years is a long time, to be fair. Obviously not as much as some of these people that have like 30 years on a bike. No. But just twat the camera. If I could sit down now and say I ride a bike because there isn't one reason. I suppose I was brought up on bikes. We always watched the motorbike races, and we always watched the BSB. We went to Brands Hatch quite a lot, that being the localist track to where I used to live. I used to live in Brighton. Well, I didn't used to live in Brighton, I used to live next to Brighton. I was born in Brighton, but I was the most local track to where we were, or to Brighton, I suppose it is not Donington, Brands. So that's what we did, and then it was obviously 2 times a year, so we always went. Never missed it. And my mum was actually a marshal for the BSB, so you don't get free tickets or anything like that, but she's always been into bikes. She went to do a driving bike test, but said it wasn't for her. So don't know, take that for what you will, I suppose. My dad was a big biker. My uncle was killed riding a bike, which I suppose would probably mean you're a bit, maybe you should learn. But not his fault, to be fair. Somebody pulled out in front of him and there's nothing he could do. Oh my god, that feels so much better already. Way better. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Oh well. So yeah, he was a biker, my uncle was a biker, got my dad into bikes, my dad was into bikes, and so on and so on, and the rest is history, as they say. So at the time it was like, I'd do my bike test, my CBT, Jesus, and then I'll buy something small to get me to work, so I have to keep relying on my stepdad to take me in. And yeah, there's a bit of freedom then. And then I got with Caitlin, and it was like, right, I kind of need to do this now, because if I want to go and see her, I've got to get the train or ride up. So that was kind of the big incentive, was to see her more than anything, and that's what I did. I did my CVT, fucking fumbled it big time. I went straight into a manual and fluffed it. Absolutely fucked it. I couldn't do it. I struggled big time on. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out the gearing. I had my foot on the back brake apparently the whole time, and yeah, I couldn't get to grips with it. So I jumped on the scooter and pissed everything out first time. Now, admittedly, riding a scooter is not hard. Really isn't hard. It's quite literally twist and go. That's why they call them twist and goes. There's no clutch or none of that shit. It's the easiest thing in the world. I do kind of miss riding a scooter in a way, because, you know, just because of how simple it was. I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, I had a Sinus Matrix 2. That was my first scooter. Then I had a Moto, and then that got nicked, and then I had a Moto FMX, which was awful. Not a fan of that at all. The Sinus was so much better. And then that got taken off my drive and like smashed up. Some knobhead had tried to jam a screwdriver in the ignition barrel and tried to run off with it. So he snapped the steering lock, smashed up the ignition barrel, realised there was nothing else he could do to it, so then he just left it at the end of the road, pissed off. So yeah. And then I was actually at that shop, so I'm a good friends with the guys that work there, and they were kind of saying, well, no, they weren't saying anything. He gave me, I don't know how much he gave me. He gave me £500 for the scooter that was all smashed to bits. And I kind of want to be in that lane, don't I? Kind of. I don't want to be going around, to be honest with you. I don't want to start lane hopping and pissing about. Woo! So yeah, started doing that. No, so then it got nicked, smashed up, and I was like, kind of getting a bit sick of this, I'll be honest. I mean, scooters have a very much higher chance of being stolen than something like an actual bike does. So I went into that shop and they had a brand new Moto LXR 125, absolutely brand spanking new, £2,300. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get one then. Fuck it. Really liked the way it looked. Had no fucking clue how to ride it. I obviously got the throttle. I mean, it ain't exactly hard to do that, is it? So I understood how to. It was more the road sense. So I'd had 2 years. I think it was either 1 or 2 years on on the road. So then I had the road sense. So then it was a bit easier for me to deal with. And I think road sense is something that you have to learn it. You can't be taught road sense. You know, you have to learn it by doing. I need to lift my visor up. So yeah, I had the road sense, and then So then I bought that, and I learned how to ride that on my drive, actually. I sat there and I learned the bite point of a vehicle. You know, you let go of the clutch, and then when you start moving, there's your bite point. So then I was doing that. I was learning and letting the bite point kind of do what I want, like move and let me do what I want to do. And then it was a little bit of throttle, and then it was just like throttling forward, stopping, going back. You know, you let the bite point go, throttle, stop, go back. And then it was just go further and further and further, and just make that gradual, you know, progression. And then you're like, right, let's go to the end of the road, let's start going into second, and just, you know, going and going and going. And that's what I did. So I would like to say I'm pretty self-taught. You know, I didn't go to any lessons or have any like classes or, you know, anything like that. So yeah, that was that. They say the rest is history. And then I had that, crashed that about 4 times, which is why I don't recommend you buy brand new, because I love the way that looked when I got it, and I do not like the way it looked when I sold it. So yeah, some bad memories on that bike, but you know, you learn, don't you? So shit happens. You know, you can't be perfect all the time, and yeah, you know, you make mistakes and you get over it. And I made many mistakes on that bike. So if I could give you any advice, do not buy brand new first thing, because you will regret it. Buy a shit runaround, learn how to ride it, learn how to ride a bike, and then start thinking about, you know, oh, do I want to go out and buy brand new, or do I want to do this, do I want to do that? Like I say, mate, I've been riding for, it's over 5 years, because I'm on my 3rd CBT. So 5 years of learning. Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm learning every day, you know. I'm learning what not to do, what to do. It's life. You know, I don't sit there and claim to be one of the best bike riders in the world, because it's not true. It never has been, and it never will be. Woo! And you know, I'm fine with that. I accept that I will never be a fantastic motorbike rider. I can be decent, I can be good, I'll never be fantastic, and that is fine for me. As long as I'm safe riding around, that'll do me. And like I said, to consider I taught myself, I'll consider that a win, because, you know, there are people that do CBTs again and again and again, and they still can't figure it out. So, you know, like I said then, you just got to keep at it. You've got to keep doing it. You've got to do the miles, you've got to do the time. It's like any craft, any sport. You want to get good at that video game, you've got to play it. You want to get good at video editing, well, you've got to keep editing videos and learning, you know. It's one of them. Don't do, don't get. Yeah, like I said, I've learned something every day, and I more or less do the same route every day, and you know, that's fun. So yeah, after that LXR, like I said, I crashed it, smashed the fairing to pieces, bought replacement fairings, crashed it again, decided maybe the LXR is not for me. I mean, it might be a bit different now, but you know, it's just silly things like green laning and back roading. I was doing that on a sports bike. Like, what do you think was going to happen? So, oh my god, that turned so much better. So yeah, like that you don't learn. Someone can say don't go that way, don't mean you're going to listen, does it? And the guy that used to give me a lift home used to take those roads back home, so I was like, oh, I'll go that way. So I was doing that on a sports bike, which is never a good idea. Don't do that. If you can take anything away, do not green lane on a sports bike. It never ever goes well. You will crash it, you will hurt something, whether it's your ego or the bike or yourself. You know, I ground my knee to the bone. You know, if I could show it on YouTube, I would, but I've got a picture of my kneecap in the emergency room, and you can see the bone. That's how far down. That's what happens when you wear jeans. So that's something else I've never done since. I've never worn jeans riding. It's not worth it. I know it looks cool, and I know wearing actual gear doesn't look as cool, and it's not comfortable, and it's not cool, and it's not warm when it's, you know, when it's cold it doesn't keep you warm. When it's warm it makes you sweat your tits off. I get it, I understand it. It's not worth it. You know, I now have incredibly fucking painful knee nerve damage when it's cold. You know, when it gets to that winter time, I feel that. I feel that a lot. And you know, I didn't smash my knee to pieces, but I'll be feeling that for the rest of my life, and that's just because I decided, oh, I'm going to wear jeans and be cool. It ain't worth it, trust me, it's not worth it. If I could go back and tell myself anything, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, it would be, do not wear jeans, don't do it. Put the shit on. Your skin is going to thank you down the road, because that's where it will be left. It will be left down the road in fucking lumps. But again, I mean, you know, I was a fucking young kid. I thought I knew better than everybody else. That won't be me, I'll never fall off, you know. Yeah, okay buddy, if you ride a bike and you haven't crashed it, you're doing it wrong. You know, it's going to happen eventually, whether it be your fault or someone else's, and that's the fact you've got to live with, right? At the end of the day, I can only do so much for myself. You know, what if someone flies out this corner now and I brake a millisecond later than I probably should have, or you know, I panic, slam on the front brakes, tuck the front. I've done that before. I've tucked the front in panic. And, you know, hindsight is wonderful, right? I can sit here now and look at all of my crashes and go, how the fuck, and why? You know, it's, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to be there. You didn't need to wear them. You know, it's silly. Why the fuck are you wearing jeans on a bike, you fucking idiot? And, you know, again, hindsight, I can sit here and say that now. At the time, no, I was cool. I felt so cool getting out of the car park, you know, with my jeans on, with my hoodie, with my fucking tinted visor. I was actually wearing this helmet. You mean like that? What if he'd have kept going? Fucking idiot. Yeah, you know, like I said, you learn the hard way, but as long as you learn, I think that's probably the main thing. Like I said, I will never ride a sports bike down a green lane. I will never ride with jeans on ever again. It won't happen. Because like I said, it's not worth it. It really isn't. You know, I lost, not only did I smash, well, I didn't smash it, I scratched my bike to shit. The value of my bike like halved straight away. And then you got to worry about, well, if you want to sell it, you know, you need to buy all these replacement bits, which I did. You know, I had to buy side panel, tail, mirrors. There's like a little bit of plastic in between the fairing and the bottom fairing. Had to buy that. That's a fucking ball ache of a cost. You know, like I said, then you want to try and sell it. Oh mate, has this been dropped? Yeah. Alright, not interested. You know, it's, yeah, it's not guys, it really isn't. But you know, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, I learned, and you know, it is what it is. Oh, you bastard, you could have gone then, you fucking pussy. Oh, I'm in neutral. Oh, I am in neutral. So yeah, I had the LXR, I didn't feel comfortable on that, so then I bought the YZF, and that bike is fucking incredible. I love that bike so much. It just is. You know, I regained my confidence on that bike. I said when I rode it, you know, my confidence was down. I'm like, you just had 3 crashes and you want to be a biker? You fucking idiot. You are shit at biking. You know, you can't ride for shit. And, you know, that knocked my self-confidence right down, because it's like, right, well, that is an ego check and a half. You know, it's all well and good learning, but then you fall off and then you ride timid. And to ride a bike comfortably, you have to be comfortable, you have to be fluid, you have to be, you know, you have to be on it. And if you think, well, when I am on it and I'm crashing, is it really, am I really that good at it? It did, you know, I had that bike sat on the drive for 3 or 4 weeks before I even tried to sit back on it again. I was like, oh, I'm going on that, no thanks. And it's silly things like that. Like, I mean, I've never ridden any big bike over 125, so I can't comment on that, but I feel pretty comfortable now that I could jump on any bike and ride it. Pretty good. You know, probably the same with you. If you're watching, you're a biker, you probably feel the same. If you're a car driver, I mean, to me, all bikes ride the same. You know, all the stuff is in the same place. Throttle's always going to be on this side. That's always your clutch. This handle never does anything. You've always got, you know, clutch and gears, brakes. It's always in the same place. The car can be a bit different. So yeah, at the moment, right now, I'm feeling pretty confident that I could jump on anybody's 125 and fly up and down and be pretty decent at it. Having said that, I wouldn't, you know, it's just, no, but I could. And again, that comes with time. That comes with doing the time and the reps and the miles and the, you know, you've got to be on it. You've got to do it. And that's one thing that doesn't piss me off, but I don't understand when, like, I watch. So I've done 3 CBTs, and every single time I've done a CBT, there's been a kid on there, right? 16, 17 year olds who have no clue what they're doing. And they're so tense and just stiff, and it's like, you can't ride a bike tense. You have to be comfortable. And I can tell immediately by looking at people, you are not going to be able to ride that bike. You are going to struggle, you know. And then of course, if you fail a CBT, then you've got to deal with the getting the confidence back again, because you think, oh well, if I couldn't do it then, how am I going to do it now? You know, and it's, you got to be comfortable. You got to be, you know, at one. And obviously that's easy for someone to say that's been on his bike for 5 years. You know, I understand that, but you got to. That's how you got to be. You ride stiff, you'll hurt yourself. You ride tense and nervous, you will hurt yourself or somebody else. You know, and it's not worth that insurance cost to hit someone else's car, because you'll be paying out your ass. It's already hard enough paying for the insurance on a vehicle at a young age anyway. You know, you want to, it's not worth it. It really isn't. I'm all fogged up and I cannot see. That's better. Can see again. And yeah, like I said, it's just time and effort. But going back to earlier, so I had the LXR, then I swapped it out for that YZF, and that YZF is fucking beautiful, right? Fantastic, love that bike. Never did that. Never did anything on it that was like silly. Looked after it, cleaned it, but never tightened the chain up. I don't know how I managed to get that bike through as many months as I did without even attempting to touch that chain. That's a fucking mind baffle how it lasted that long. But it did, right? It was an absolute fucking warrior. It would run through everything, started through everything. It never didn't start, right? Perfect. Then I had an accident and broke my knee on a car park. Right, so I fractured my knee. My other knee's fucked. That's two now. Both knees, both fucked, right? Yeah, I was like, I don't know if the sports bikes for me, you know, they're not really great winter bikes. You know, I wouldn't want to be riding a sports bike when it's, you know, I mean, I've done it, but I don't like doing it. I don't like riding bikes in the ice, full stop. But you know, when we get our winters in the UK, it could be minus 3, -4, even if it's 2 or 3 degrees. You always run the risk, and it doesn't matter what bike you're on, you're going to come off if you hit it, right? You know, there's black ice and it's freezing cold. It's not comfortable. It's not fun. It's not worth it either. So that's why I bought this. So this is my all-round workhorse, does the fucking job bike, and I fucking love this bike with a passion, right? It gets on my nerves. It's not quick. It's not fun and nice to look at, really. You know, when you go from like me, who's ridden sports bikes for the last 3 years, and you know, been to races, and if you'd have told me 6 years ago you're going to own an adventure bike when you're 24, I'd go fuck up. I'm not sitting on an adventure bike, no way. I was all about the sports bikes. You know, I love sports bikes. I love the way they feel, I love the way they sound, I love the way they look. Yeah, I've always been a sports bike guy. My dad's always owned sporty bikes, so you know. So yeah, I bought this because it's like where I'm living right now, it's just green lanes and back roads and country roads. I might have to get an overtake on here. And yeah, it's not fun or pleasant, so that's why I got this, because I was like, I need a bike that I can reliably use when I need to. You know, if it's pissing it down with rain, you don't really be on a sports bike anyway when it's raining. It's absolutely hammering it down with rain, you really don't want to be on a sports bike. So I think if I can get this overtake on. She was way too far away. Now I don't know if I'm going to make that in time, so it's not worth doing. I'd see shit like that, you know, on a sports bike I would have blitzed past her up there, but because I'm on a bike that's not a sports bike, I've got to be careful. But yeah, you know, I've used this in absolutely torrential rain. I've used this through flooded areas, and I mean, right now it's getting cold. You know, I think it was 4 degrees this morning. I've got my heated gloves, best purchase ever, by the way. I've got a pin lock on my other helmet, so you know, there's just loads and loads and loads of things that you can. I mean, yeah, like, listen, I don't mind the cold, right? I've said it before. I can deal with the cold. It doesn't really affect me that much, other than in the kneecap, which both of them. Which, yeah, you know, it's annoying and it hurts and it's not fun, but I can't do anything about that. You know, I can wrap up as best as I want, but there's only so much you can do. So it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I would tell anybody right now, do you want to learn how to ride a bike? Yeah, but I'm not. Learn how to ride a bike. It'll be one of the best things you ever do. You know, I remember people telling me, getting your license is the best thing you'll ever do, and it's the best thing I've ever done. You know, I can get another job I could buy another house, you know, and all this kind of stuff. But you know, if I can't get to this new job, then what's the point, you know? You need a vehicle to get you back and forth from work, and like I said, the jobs, I can go anywhere for a job, you know, I don't have to work where I work, but I need a vehicle to get around. You know, I could buy a house in a different, you know, town. Not if you can't ride a bike, you can't. So, you know, like I say, it is the best thing you will do. So yeah, I would recommend anybody give it a go. You know, a CB, you know, you need to, if you want to drive, you need a provisional license anyway. So you have to apply for the license. The CBT is £100. I would rather spend £100 going, oh, I might not enjoy it, I might enjoy it, I don't know. I'd rather do it that way than learn the hard way, having spent, oh hello, having spent a fortune on vehicles and shit. Yeah, £100, do a CBT. If you don't like it, you've learnt. And you know then, don't you? You know, you go, oh, maybe biking's not for me. Or you might do it and go, oh, I really enjoyed that.